Hey, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are on part 3, which is also week 3 of the Tiny House Pontoon build. So just to kind of recap, if you haven't seen part 2, we've got the thing framed up and a little bit more since part 2. I went ahead and finished the rafters up top and kind of the fascia board or the sub fascia board up there. Got everything ready to go. Got some windows framed up right here. And today, and of course our front porch overhang is up and ready to go right here. So what we're going to do is I'll show you right here on the trailer. We've got some house wrap over here. So we're gonna wrap it, and the size of this is going to be a combination of wood and metal. And of course the roof is going to be all metal. So we went the 11/32 T111, and we're going to put it horizontal to kind of look like planks. So that's the plan for today, is do our wrap, or for this weekend, week 3. We're going to do our house wrap. We're going to go ahead and start putting up the T111, 11/32 T111, sideways, so it looks like, or kind of looks like plank boards instead of vertical battens. And then of course we've got metal to go on here, metal for the sides and the roof. So stick with us, let's get to work, and let's start our exterior finishes. Okay, as you can see, we have our house wrap on, and of course there's no denying that it's the Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse brand of house wrap. It's not Tyvek or any of the others. It's just what was on the shelf. Everything we're doing here is parts and pieces you can buy readily at your home improvement warehouse, whichever one is your favorite. So there are no special order things, and you know, there's no delays, there's no shipment delays or anything like that, supply chain delays, because we're using materials that we go into Lowe's, we find, we buy, we pick up, because this project has to continue from week to week to week. So there's no delays, and it's going to get done quickly. Like I said, we're on week 3. So anyway, we've got our house wrap on, and one thing to note, doesn't matter if the Lowe's is upside down or right side up. I put it right side up just to be neat, but it does have an inside and an outside. So the printed side should go towards the outside. So we're going to go ahead and start with some of our exterior finishes right now. So we're starting to put our exterior finishes on. This is T111, 11/32 or whatever that is, the size. I think I mentioned it earlier, not quite ½ inch. And we're putting it horizontal so it'll look like planks, and just nailing it with our 2-inch finish nails with our DeWalt pneumatic nailer. We've got some on the side over here that you can see, and it's going to be a combination, and we're going to stain this. It's going to be a combination of black metal and stained horizontal looking planked T111. So stay tuned. We're going to get the rest of this wood up, and then we're going to stain it, and we'll be back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just show you the staining here, the process, using the Wagner 570 Flex, and just spraying on an oil-based cabot. I think this is the mahogany something or another color. I'll get back to you on that, but just spraying it. You got to be careful. I got it on low, because this stuff, you think it'll seep in there, soak in there, but it'll run pretty quickly. So we're just gonna I'm gonna reload, but that's give you an idea how quick staining goes with one of these Wagners. I was always skeptical about a Wagner until I tried this one, and it works perfectly. All right, so we're kind of on day 2 of the weekend here, and it turned a little bit colder and it's windy, so I had to put something a little bit longer on, but we got our wood all finished, and it's a 2-step process, and I'll show you, and I told you I'd show you what kind of stain we're using, but we got a really nice looking finish to it. I'll get up close so you can see it. And what I used was the oil-based cabot, and you know, to give it this really nice rich look. And I first started with the mahogany flame, and that's what you saw me spraying. That'll give it a nice kind of reddish tint. So I wanted a little bit of red coming through, but it was too red. So then my second coat, I used the Jahard brown, and it's really kind of a chocolate brown. So if I just used this, it would look chocolatey and brown, but starting with the mahogany flame, it gives it a nice reddish look. And I always like to second coat with these cabot finishes. And of course there's my Flex 570 Wagner, which did the job. So we're going to start on the metal. We've got our metal here, and we'll start putting up a couple of metal panels and come back to you on that. So metal here, metal here, and of course on the roof. And here it all is right here from our Union Corrugation Company. So here's my metal, and I did order it through my Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, and I've got 3 different sizes. You can see what breaks right here. One size, the second dimension, and then this. So one side is 3 inches shorter than the other for drainage. So that's the shorter side, the longer side here, and then all the way out the edge. All these long pieces are for my roof going horizontal from port to starboard side. Okay, so we got our metal up on the sides. You got the port side and the starboard side both done. And when I designed the wood in the middle and the whole structure, did it so considering 38-inch wide 29-gauge metal. So I only had to make 2 cuts actually. 1 cut on this side, 1 cut on that side. So you've got a 38-inch piece of metal here. You got a 12-inch seam. You've got a 38-inch piece of metal all the way here. You got a seam right there, and that's the remaining piece. So a full piece, sliced 1 in half, the larger section here, and the 1-foot section right there. So we're done with our sides, and we're going to go ahead and go to the roof. Here's what I'm going to do. I've got my metal pre-cut with about a 3-inch overhang on either side. So the metal's ready to go. And I've got this 1/2-inch Poly Pro EPS insulation foam board. So I'm going to put this on the top. We've got longer 1.5-inch screws. So I'll put this on, then we'll cover it with that. And hopefully that'll give me a little bit of a radiant barrier with the foil, and a little bit of extra insulation, because we are using a black metal roof, which is going to be a great heat absorbing sink, unfortunately, but black is the color we're going with. So we're going to take a couple extra precautions just to try to add some little extra layer of insulation on the roof. So I'm going to get started with the roof, and we'll be back. So we're up here on the roof, making great progress. Almost done, actually. Almost forgot to get up here and get a shot of what's going on for you. But you can see our insulation board is down. My little scuttle hole here to come up with is getting smaller and smaller, so I'm going to have to do the back end of this from the ground level instead of kind of coming up through a scuttle hole in the ladder. But this is the black roof decking, and so we've got the whole thing in the dry. And that's going to do it for this part 3 of the Tiny House Pontoon build. So we're going to come back again next week. Stick with us. Subscribe to the channel. Hit your notification button so you know when we've got a new upload coming out as far as the progress in part 4 of the Tiny House Pontoon. And we're going to be starting with the internal electrical control systems. Got all kinds of sexy lighting going in, and control systems, navigation lights, and everything else. So not only is this going to be friendly out on the water for navigation's sake and be legal, but it's also going to be very friendly inside in terms of the atmosphere that it'll produce. So anyway, take care and have a great day.